Before you watch the video, we kindly ask that you hit the like button. It costs you nothing, helps us a lot. On to the show. Super duty, tough work. What the is going on out here? We here, man. 2024 is coming to an end, folks. We appreciate y'all pressing play on this episode. You saw the title. You know what we're talking about today. Many of you have called in, left us beautiful, motivational voice messages about your wins in 2024. You see, what me and Elijah typically do, we like to look forward. We like to talk about what we gonna do in 2025. However, I did some thinking on this. And I said, man, maybe we're not celebrating the now enough. Maybe we're not basking in the glow of our current achievements enough. Why we got to talk about next year so quickly? Many of us have done dope things this year, and it should be celebrated. We should take time to reflect and to congratulate ourselves on our achievements. Hence the title 2024 Wins. We appreciate y'all. Logic, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. You know, good Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
I see you got a nice little gift over there.
Yeah,
look
a little something, little 404 action. You know, been diving deep into that. I had to go. I had to go. I had to join the
404 gang.
I had to join the gang.
The cult.
Yeah. I've been fighting it for so long. I tried to get a couple other pieces that I wanted to use, you know, try to be different. You know what I mean? Try to do it my own way. And I just had to come on in. You know.
Welcome aboard, my brother. Welcome aboard. You know what I mean? I was just like you. I fought it for a long time. But when I saw the MK2, I was like,
yeah,
that might actually do what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I had to give it another shot. And as you know, you and I have talked about it online, and you were saying that what made you get it now was like you saw that you didn't have to use it like everybody else.
Yeah, that's been the big thing.
You know,
is trying to find my own way and wanting to find my own way, you know, to use it, and seeing everybody kind of use it similarly, you know, being able to watch, you know, DJ sets online and seeing what you did with it. Like, oh, okay. It has other uses. I don't have to, you know, do the same thing to be cool. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, I've been diving in, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to understand the basics of it right now. You know, just how the machine works.
Yeah.
Because this is my first piece of outboard gear that I've ever had. Like,
that's true.
I never did MPCs. I never did any of that. Like, I started making beats and everything on the computer straight away. So this is my first time diving into a standalone piece of gear. So it's a whole nother world for me. You know what I mean? So it may take me a little longer to, you know, get used to the button pushing, but I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited.
Well, it goes without saying, if you want to hop on a Zoom at some point and exchange tips and tricks,
that'll happen. Like, I've already hit up product. I've already hit up, you know what I'm saying? It's you know, I got resources. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'm here, bro. I'm here. Okay, so folks, this week's episode is about 2024 wins. And so we got a number of calls from you all that we're going to play. And we are going to talk about the things that we set out to do in 24, that we achieved in 24, that we are proud about. If you're at home listening, I encourage you to sit down and take a second to just write down the 3 or 4 things that you did this year. You know, sometimes we live in situations where we're not necessarily going to get pats on the back for everything we do. Sometimes we may be quietly achieving things and not even giving ourselves credit. And so I want this episode, and maybe we'll do this moving forward this time of year, where we just say, hey, look, just stop working, stop looking forward, and let's just take a inventory on what you did, what you achieved, and let's just celebrate it. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do this week. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Word.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us, official podcast murderers. The show comes equipped with viewpoints to share, grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow. So go ahead and download every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping the culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
Hey, this is Sankofa representing Fort Wayne. Shout out to Super Duty Tough Work with all the extended banana clips, the bullet points and such. I'd say my win for 2024 is being able to make music with my dope friends, to the tune of having 15 releases, and then coming up with the plan for the Kofa Card Club to roll it into 2025, because that's too much music, but I'm having too much fun doing this. Shout out to Super Duty Tough Work. Keep doing what you're doing. I loved it. Peace.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Play with another one real quick.
Super Duty Tough Work. Peace, Blueprint, and Illogic. What's going on? Longtime fan of the music, longtime fan of the show. This is Jacob, a.k.a. Poet Substratum, representing New Jersey. I guess my biggest win for 2024 was getting accepted, starting the first semester of a paramedic program and passing with an A. I've been in EMS for about 15 years, and I decided back in 2023, in the beginning of the year, that I wanted to go back to school. And so I just began that journey. I did my prereqs for the last year and change. And this year I started the program in September. And my goal was to complete the first semester with an A. And I'll be starting the next semester come January, first week of January. So yeah, brothers, it's been a journey. I'm 44 years old, father of 2 teenagers, working full time, still doing music and pursuing my other career. So it's been real cool. It's been a real show of discipline and hard work. But yeah, we're going to keep it moving to the next year and the year after. You know what I'm saying? So big up you brothers. You guys are a huge influence, huge inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'll check you brothers later. Peace.
Hell yeah.
Dope.
One more.
Yo, what's up, gentlemen? It's Ricardo Tejeda here from Asheville, North Carolina. Longtime listener, big fans of y'all. Hope y'all's 2024 was wonderful, and hope both of y'all's families are doing excellent, and you're looking forward to 2025. For me, 2024 was overall a great year, a weird year, but great. As you all probably know, Asheville got hit with Hurricane Helene on September 27th, 3 days after I turned 40, and during the busiest time of year. I say that because despite it coming during the fall, peak of tourist season, I still made more money this year than I did in 2023. Some other wins that I had this year. I entered my first photo competition, landscape and nature photography competition, got chosen as a finalist, got to drop off the photograph at App State next month. I also got tapped to be part of a gallery show in High Point at a museum. It's just outside of Charlotte, so that'll be my first museum show, another photography showing. I started doing video work and have a monthly gig that's recurring, and I started my YouTube channel. So a lot of big wins, despite it being a very weird year. Much love to y'all, and hopefully all of your listeners and everyone have a great 2025. Peace out.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I love to hear it.
Yeah. It's good to hear.
Love to hear it, man. You know what pops in my head when I hear these things? First of all, thanks for calling in, fellas. We appreciate y'all taking the time to leave us a message and let us know, man. It's inspiring not only to us, but to everybody else who listens. You know what I mean? But what pops in my head is like, yo, we got all types of listeners, man.
Right.
It's not just a rap.
You know what I mean?
Come on, man. It's not just a rap podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is some shit that applies to everything. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. I like that there's people who come here. There's people who probably came here thinking, oh, it's just some hip hop shit.
Yeah.
But then they realize, oh, nah, this can be applied to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, yo, I love this shit. And then they start participating. It's like, yo, we got a community of people who just want to do better work.
Yes.
That's
It's
it.
an amazing thing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing thing to see.
Yeah, man. So me and Elijah gonna get started on our first big win of 2024. What was yours, Elijah? You go first.
Well, mine is it's kind of existential. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a personal.
counts.
You know,
That counts. Yeah. We need those.
But one of my things I wanted to do this year was to set some boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Some personal boundaries. You know, with things I wouldn't do, things I wouldn't tolerate. You know, over the last few years, I think I've been a little too forgiving in some instances in life. And this year, one of the things I wanted to do was kind of set some boundaries and let people know, there's certain things that I would not tolerate. You know what I'm saying? In my circle.
Yes, tell them.
Certain things that certain limits that I would not exceed in either helping you, either allowing you to just be around me, you know what I'm saying, with negative energy, with you know what I'm saying, with certain things. And
cooking.
I definitely accomplished that. You know what I'm saying? Like I set some people straight, had to cut some people out of my life. You know what I'm saying? Had to really slow some people down from thinking that they was, taking advantage of the kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm happier for it, man. I'm a lot more. I'm lighter. You know what I'm saying?
Go.
I'm feeling a lot more. Excited about things in the future. Feel like I've dropped some good dead weight. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling ready to fly. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fly in 25.
My goodness, you cooked on that one, bro. You was cooking right there. Damn, you got me feeling a little shallow about my goals, man. I ain't come with no existential shit. I was just like, well, I got a this and I did that. Man, you came out the bag killing it. Damn, I ain't even think about nothing like that. But you know what's funny? That shit be the most important shit.
Yeah.
If you don't get shit like that in order, you can't achieve none of the material goals that you be having.
Exactly. Because you're too worried about the other shit. You're too worried about all that, all that weight, that has nothing to do with the things that you actually want to accomplish. You being weighed down by, outside forces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it's the foundation. Right? Mm-hmm. Like you basically strengthened your foundation in 2024. You was like, look, this shit, if I don't get this shit together, I can't build nothing next year. I can't build nothing moving forward. And that shit is necessary. We all have years like that, man. It's like, We could do a whole episode about like the realization that you have to cut people off.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
And like when you know it's time.
Yeah.
Usually by
Past
time,
time.
yeah, it's past time by the time you realize it. You should have been
Right.
there. It's always like it's
Right.
never right on time. It's like, damn, I should have done that a year ago, or
Mm-hmm.
but no, I commend you on that. That's heavy. That's heavy, man. And I hope it inspires some people listening, because it's like, look, man, we just regular guys, man.
Yeah.
We blue collar rappers, man. We blue collar rappers. I tell people. Somebody asked me to describe. I was like, you know, I'm just a blue collar artist, man. They was like, oh, damn, I never thought of it that way. You kind of are. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
we have problems. We have real shit that happens, and we deal with a lot of the same shit everybody else deal with, man. All the same shit. So it's like, man, we just have an outlet to express our problems called rap.
Yep. Exactly.
That's the difference. You
Yeah,
know?
that's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest differences is that we have something to channel. You know, a lot of our frustration, a lot of our emotion. You know, we have somewhere to channel it. You know, but if you don't have your mental health in order, if you're not in the right place mentally, you can't even do that right.
Nah, not at all, man. Nah, that's dope. Okay, so I'll do my number one win of 2024 was transitioning back into music full time.
Nice.
I'm driving a truck. At the end of 23, I was sitting there with my truck in a shop, crying real tears. As thousands of dollars was just coming out of my bank account. My business bank account was hemorrhaging funds while my truck was not running. No one could figure out what was going wrong. What was wrong with it, and I was just getting sent around from mechanic to mechanic, just getting bent over and stroked at every turn. And I was like, damn, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna be back in business. And this was like right before Thanksgiving last year. And I was like, man, what do? I was depressed for a couple of days because it wasn't going well. And then I was like, I didn't know at that time that the whole thing was going to drag on for like 8 weeks, 7 weeks. And I was just like, oh, this is bad. This is real bad. I thought I'd be down for a week and back up. Nope. And so I remember during that time, I was like, what do? I was like, man, if you want to know whether it's the environment is right for you to come back to music, this is your perfect opportunity to try.
Yeah.
Because you literally have no truck to run. Your truck is in the shop. Your trucking business is done. So you sitting at home, you got nowhere to be, nowhere to go, and you just sitting around waiting. And so I was like, man, I'm going to start answering these emails that I've been getting and getting back with people and, you know, just getting on top of my business. That was like in November. I remember December 1st. You know, it was looking bad. And like, I started just kind of working at it. Then I had like a really good December. You know, end of November was good, really good December. And I was like, man, let me try this again in January. You know, I got my truck back like January 1st, I think, something like that. And I remember getting my truck back, dude, and I was just sad. You know, you're supposed to be happy. Most people like, oh, I got my truck out the shop. I can get back to business. I was depressed. It was the longest 2-mile drive back to my yard I ever had. I was just like, this is sad. I'm done. I can't keep doing this. I got my truck. It's too late. It was too late, you know? And I was like, man, I'm going to try it in January, even better than December. And at that point, I was like, yo, I got a choice. I can either force it over there or I can stay here and keep going, keep riding the momentum that I have. Because at the time, I didn't even have a record. I hadn't announced that I was dropping a record yet. And so it was like, yo, keep going and see what you can do. And like, ever since then, you know, I parked my truck. It was in the yard parked. I ain't drove it since January. And since I brought it back from the shop. And just made the transition back to music. And didn't even really think a lot about it. It was like, yo, I was doing it in December and January. I was like, let me just keep going. And here we are a year later. And this has been a dope year. A really dope year. Like, especially considering I didn't drop a record in 6 years prior.
Yeah.
You know, I had 6 years in between records. And, you know, this year, ever since I started coming back over here, everything is more positive. Everything is just like my energy is up. Little tiny, you know, health issues I felt was starting to fuck with me dealing with the truck. Like I was starting to get like sore elbows. Anybody who drives for a living understands that because your arms are kind of in this rested position a lot. And so you can develop some strain up in here. And I was just developing it. That's completely gone. Lost 20 pounds. You know, I gained like 20 pounds just driving. Toured again. But overall, just the transition back to being an artist is probably my biggest win because there was definitely a lot of points in 22 and 23. I did not think I was going to be coming back. I was like, I don't know if my path is to come back to that. I don't know if people still care. I don't know if you know what I'm saying? There's a market for what we do. You be going 6 years, man. You start having all these doubts.
Yeah, because time moves so fast. You know,
Yeah.
people's attention spans are so fucking, short. You don't even know if they still remember who you are.
Bro, all of that was in my mind. Like, nobody care. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get the momentum back that I had? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
everything changed. 6 years is a long time. And then it's like, you put out something and people are excited. And it kind of gives you this confidence. Like, oh, wait. I do have people who care,
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I just was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And all the things I used to think about when I was driving, the whole conversation you be having, like, if I could do this again, what would I change?
Right.
You drive a truck, you got a lot of time to think about that shit. Like, damn.
Right. Hours alone.
Like, what would I do differently? It was like a movie. I know you're wondering how I got here. Well, let me tell you.
Right.
It's like, okay, what would I do? And like certain things, I was like, I'm going to just do that. I'm going to go. And all of it worked. Like literally everything that I saw when I wasn't in this shit. And I was like, I'm going to do that when I get back. All of it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit is just giving me so much confidence to keep going, and to find a way to go on another run because it's like, yo, I did it almost 20 years full time. And then like 18 months driving a truck. And then it's like, but 6 months in between records and all that COVID shit kind of fucked up the confidence. But still, people out there, people care.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit was huge. That might have been single-handedly the biggest thing for me of 24.
Yeah, it allows you to see that all the work that you've put in over the years was not in vain.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? It shows you that, I've laid a foundation that still holds weight. You know what I'm saying? That can still support a career. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
People still care enough to where, I can support myself and live off of this and do something I love. So it's an amazing thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit is so crazy, man. But yeah, that's number one. Okay. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Word.
Quick announcement. Over the years, we've frequently been asked by the listeners of our show if we would ever open up our platform to the public for advertising. We've always been interested in doing it, but in the past, we never had the systems in place to make it work properly. I'm proud to announce that we are now officially accepting advertising from the public on Super Duty Tough Work, meaning if you are a business owner or an artist and would like to create more awareness about your product, service, or release on our platform, we're now in a position to be able to do that. For more information, email us at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. That's superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you would like to promote, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible about whether it's a good fit and go from there. Thanks for your time. Back to the show.
Wednesday 24, I dropped an album called Checks in the Mail. It's my most played album of all time. It's got over 20,000 plays on Spotify. I sold over 60 units, a mixture of vinyl, digital, tapes, and CDs. I share these metrics because I believe it's a direct reflection of the amount of effort and time I put into promoting the album. I created 286 pieces of content. This is a mixture of video, clips, and images for 2 months, a month of promotion leading up to the release. And after the release, I released 4 music videos, 3 long-form interviews related to the album I recorded and put together myself. Every week, I had something new to post on social media for that span of 2 months. The metrics are dope, but the biggest win for me is that I followed through on my plan and I executed like a mug. Even when I doubted what I was doing, like, is this shit working? Or got some sideways ass comment about my direction, your boy stayed on course. I wish I was this old enough when I was young. This shit makes me feel great. Big up to everyone who bought my shit and all that shit. I got a template now I can use moving forward. I got my LLC in order. I'm official. I got my FAQs for my music and computer business set too. No more guessing. I couldn't have done this without the game from this podcast, social media, cheat code, the encouragement from you guys, Blueprint, and the logic. There's no gazelle over here, man. No gazelle. Super Duty for life. From the Beta, Ohio, this is Ugo Monster reporting. All right, y'all, peace, and I wish y'all a happy new year. All that shit. Let's go. Let's go. Tell them peace.
Let's go, Ugo.
Yeah.
That's Ugo Monster. Shout out to that brother, man. Yo, so many achievements. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. I was watching him. I was just watching. I was like, yeah, he in there. You know what I'm saying? He locked in. He locked in.
Yeah, he was in his bag. Yeah, he found it. He found his thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes a lot of people don't keep going long enough to find it.
Yeah.
He found it. That's a brother. We've definitely been. We speak online, and it's been good to see his progress. And he soaks up everything. He applies everything. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, one more.
Hey, yo, Jawara now. So, my mom is in the hospital, going to be coming home for hospice care. I was just proposed to my girl I've been dating for 3 years, love my life, and that's the big thing I did. And my mom got to see it, and I hope that she gets to see me marry her. That's the big thing I did this year, guys. Peace. Oh, and definitely would like to see another Weightless recording with you and Jawar. Love you guys.
Hey, well, on that last request, I think we got that. We got some things in the works on that.
So, couple things working.
Yeah, we got some things working. Yeah, shout out to that brother, man. No, that's real life shit. That's dope. That's really dope, man.
Really dope.
Yeah, we appreciate these calls, man. It's good. It's good for everybody to hear this too, man. Because sometimes I know, even if you listen by yourself, you want to. How many people tune in? Do people listen to this? Is it like, yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, man. Like, this is something that's hard to really understand until you start talking to people. When I was in Asia, it hit me too. There's Super Duty fans everywhere, every continent, bro. Like, people really participate because this is not about us. It's about sharing what we know to inspire everybody to be the best version of themselves. And it doesn't matter what your field of discipline is, whether it's life, whether it's art, whether it's your business, we all want to improve. And this is our way to try to share what we go through and try to inspire others and create a community around it. So we thank y'all, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So Logic, your number 2. What's your number 2?
All right, so the first one was probably my most important, but this is my biggest. Celebrating 20 years of Celestial Clockwork this year.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Bro. I mean, from the campaign, to, all the people who actually reached out to, make a comment on the record, to, the band, Smoking Section, to Jason at Bertha Hill, to my cousin Sean, Voice of Reason. Mario Hensley for video recording it, Natalie's at Grandview, just everything that that was everybody who was a part of that, from Harold and Bobby, that own the practice facility that we practiced at, just everything. Like it felt like that was my whole year, honestly. Like it felt like that. It felt like preparing for that was like my whole year. And then to, get to the day of the show and to see, because when you do something like that, you hope, you know what I'm saying, that it's going to turn out dope. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? And, watching ticket sales and, watching all that, sometimes it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the week before the show, I was like, all right,
hope this shit pick up.
These joints need to pick up. Just need to pick up.
Yeah.
And day of the show, it was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? To see the people who came out and all the family that came out and supported. And we got big things planned. We recorded the show. We got video. We got we working on pressing up, the live version on vinyl. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that's hopefully coming in 25. But I think that was my biggest thing is, getting that out the way and celebrating that album and, being celebrated, you know what I'm saying? Like actually, getting some flowers and, setting it up, to give myself some flowers, you know what I'm saying? To appreciate the work that I did, over 20 years ago, the work that we did and, allow other people to take part in that was an amazing experience. And, yeah, man, it was very dope. And I'm still kind of basking in that glow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to take a break from creating after that show just because, that was like, felt like 6 months of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it really was though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. You know what I'm saying? Practicing every week, like trying to memorize all them damn songs, like working stuff out with the band. My first time really rocking with a band.
Yeah.
Shout out to Product for, really being, the maestro to help, direct the band and, Levi Brown and everybody that was involved. It was a real dope experience. And, hopefully we'll be rocking some shows next year. You know what I'm saying? Some, carrying it on and, all the physical stuff that's coming is coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I was there. I can confirm it was epic. It was very epic. Yeah. I was in the front row the whole show. Did not miss a song, did not go to the bathroom. It was dope. It was dope seeing the record bring to life in a different way. And like you're saying, all the work that was put in, it's good to have those moments because those are the kind of moments, like, even though it's celebrating something that's older, those are the things that push you forward.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you don't stop and celebrate those, like, how do you get the momentum for the next set of things you got going on, right? And that, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, And so, I'm going to do something like that in 25. You know what I'm saying? I got some, we got some anniversaries coming up. You know what I mean?
Know what I'm saying?
I ain't about to reinvent the wheel. I'm about to just steal my man's did it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he be getting so many ideas from me. I'm like, man, it's about time I can steal some shit from you, man. Come on, man.
There you go.
Let me steal something back. Let me get some of these ideas from you. Shake you down for some of these good ideas. But no, that's dope. That's dope. So like the number two thing I did, this ain't necessarily in order of importance, but to me it was important, was just like I learned to use the 404 and I started doing beat sets. To me, that's something that, like, it was
been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It was like I never went all the way in before though. I always kind of danced around and dabbled around it. And, I've been putting out instrumental music since 2004, but back then there was no way to perform it. It was like, I don't know, it's going to be hard for people to understand this, but in 2004, there was no such thing as a MIDI controller. You know what I mean? Like what we know of MIDI controllers, you got the 25 key, the MIDI pad thing. You could just take out, plug in the computer and play different shit. It wasn't like that. You had to take out the actual machine you made it on to play beats. And we did that a couple times back then, but that wasn't what we're doing now. It's evolved so much since then. The art of putting together a beat set. And so for me, I was like, it was one of those things, like I bought the 404 when I was still driving a truck. And I was like, I got to learn this. This is going to be a barometer, you know what I mean, of how serious I am when I get back to it. Can I learn this machine enough to go do shit in public? and not even just doing it, but like to film it. Those of you who have seen like the videos we shot in the park and those things, like it took us a minute to work those things out because you're mixing live and you know how it is. You can fuck shit up and start it all over again. And sometimes things go wrong with camera. Sometimes things go wrong with the audio. It's like so many things that can go wrong. The first one we did, we just threw it away because it just wasn't good enough to me. And so it was like, by the time I started dropping them, I was like, okay, I got it. But it gave me the courage to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm learning on the job. There's guys who've been doing that for years. I'm primarily visually known as a rapper. People aren't used to me playing beats like that. And so they enjoy my production, but it's something I told myself I wanted to focus on. And so sat down, learned it. And then I knew I had to learn it because I was like, if I tour overseas, I'm not going to be able to bring a DJ.
Right.
And so I absolutely have to learn this. And, you know, I look now, I'm like, you know what, for a guy who kind of came out of nowhere, I'm happy with the progress I made. You know, like 2 weekends ago, I played the show in Dayton with Tino, did a beat set, and very well received. Very well received. You know, people were just staring like, what the fuck? You know, but it was like everyone was there. The longer I played, the more people came to the stage. Mm-hmm. And then it was all over. It was a lot of great feedback. So it's something I plan on continuing to do. But, you know, I'm proud of myself for just committing. You know what I mean? And just doing it, coming down here for an hour every day or two and be like, okay, I'm going to read this page in the manual and I'm going to apply it. I'm going to go through this tutorial and just doing it for an hour or two every day until it starts to become, you know, instinctual. You start to learn the key combinations and things like that. Well, you're learning it now because you just got the machine. And so, but you have to put in the reps. And so me putting in the reps, me going back and working on the material to turn the material into something. And, you know, and another aspect of that was even the hardest part is having an abundance mentality. Because when you're dealing with production, there's something in all of us that makes us want to hold some shit back. Hold that beat back, man, because you might want to use that later. You don't want to give all. Right. I realized that was a problem. That was what was making me hold back, is this fear of like not having enough. And now I don't have that fear at all. Doing that shit completely erased my fear, my scarcity mentality as far as beats. Now I'm dead ass like, I'll make a fire beat tomorrow. Yep. So what?
Yep.
Y'all can hear it right now. I'll make 12 more this week. It's like, whatever. Like, I trust myself enough to know that, yo, ain't nothing wrong with sharing this shit because you can come up with more shit. If you are who you say you are, then you should be able to share this.
Yep.
Right. And that's the thing that machine really helped me get over. And so those of you who follow me on social media, and y'all see I've been sharing more and doing more shit, but with beats, it's largely because now I got rid of that scarcity mentality as far as sharing my work. I'm not sitting on it waiting on a perfect time or the right time. I'm like, nah, I'm going to go to a park. I'm going to pick 5 fire beats I really like, put together the set, record it, edit it, and upload it. The end. And I don't care how many people like it or don't. I'm just going to keep doing it. And if I know that if I keep doing it, it will start to change the perception of what I do and have the effect that I'm looking for. So, yeah, that was my number 2 thing. And so, we'll take a break and be right back. Right. This is your weekly reminder that we have 2 books that you, as a listener or watcher of this podcast, need to absolutely own. The first is The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists, and the second is The Social Media Cheat Code. Both of these books were released within the last year. The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists is a book where I go through the stories and explain the traits that are behind the success of some of the biggest names in hip hop today. The book has got nothing but amazing feedback. And if you are an artist, business person, whatever you do, if you would like to be inspired and would like to learn more about hip hop along the way and also see some reinforcement of the concepts that we talk about on this podcast, The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop is for you. Second book is The Social Media Cheat Code. That is for everyone who listens to this podcast who does not consider themselves an expert or really good at social media. It's not for super experienced people. It's actually for people who are on social media but are not getting the results you need. So what we did is I broke down like 12 or 13 strategies that I use all the time that actually work really well for me. I put it into book. I gave you examples and I tell you how to implement it. That's a book you absolutely need as a listener to this podcast, watcher of this podcast. If you're on YouTube, supporting these books actually goes a long way towards supporting the podcast. So to support the show, if you like what we do, obviously we don't necessarily get paid to do this shit. So support the products and services that we create. And these 2 books are a big part of that. We appreciate your support. And back to the show.
Yo, this is Brew Lee. I want to give a super duty shout out to Super Duty Tough Work podcast. First and foremost, just for allowing me to share my big wins and also for inspiring me. I feel like listening to this podcast helped me get my business in order and put me in a position to celebrate my big win. My big win is after 6 long years of getting all my things together for my hip hop card game, Rap Attack, is finally here. It's finally out to the public. You know, it was a long process. Like I said, it was 6 years in the making. So my big win is like a super duper 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 big win that I want to celebrate last year and the year before, but I am finally celebrating it this year, 2024. I guess some of the other years before, just I celebrated small wins to get to where I'm at with like the trademark and the LLC and the website and all those things. But Rap Attack, the game is officially here. I'm proud. I've been having release parties. Shout out to Logic who came out. He got robbed. We all know Twister is the most rapid fire spitter, but you know, somebody was the judge of that and they said it was Bone Thugs, and that's just what the game do. So he was robbed. He did not win. But we all have fun and we had a blast, and I just look forward to 2025 pushing forward with Rap Attack the game. Peace.
Nice. Shout out to Brew Lee.
Yeah, yeah. I got me a copy of the game. It's a dope game, man. It's a real dope game. Yeah, it was fun. Super fun.
Nice. I want to get him on the show soon to talk about this. So, Brew, you know, expect me to hit you up soon to talk about this. Okay, we got some other Columbus people on here.
My name is Brendan McNeil. I'm born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. I even did a short stint at Scully's as security. What my big thing I did this year was, in my second year as the defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator for the Ohio State club football team, which is Ohio State's JV, essentially, we won a national championship in the NCFA, which is the National Club Football Association. Our entire thing is done with donations, and these kids pay to play, and they played fantastic. And it was an honor to play with them, and it was an honor and the most awesome thing in the world to win a national championship.
Nice.
Hell yeah. That's fire. That's fire. Okay, we got one more.
Super Duty Tough Work. DJ Criminal coming at ya. 2024 wins. First, played largest festival in northern Thailand this year. Second, DJ'd 2 new countries this year. Both asked me back. 3, helped to organize and perform on the Blueprint Tour in Asia. We had no missed shows, no missed flights. Hell yeah. My book, Saudi Arabia Undercover, sales are up. Latest vinyl, Smuggler's Candle, sales are up. Feature requests are up. Did my first public beat set with an MPC cassette player and portable turntable. That was cool. Biggest win was finding this Cambodian track I've been looking for years and getting to play it in Cambodia. Also got to see the DMCs here in Thailand. Got to see Wax Taylor perform. And finally, of course, getting to see Blueprint play Radio Inactive over here. Best live performance I've seen in years. 2024 killing it. DJ Criminal out.
Oh yeah. Shout out to DJ Criminal.
Yeah, shout out DJ Criminal.
No, friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. It's good to hear this shit, man. It's good to hear this shit.
Yeah, it is. It's dope. It makes you smile. You know?
I feel warm inside.
Yeah, like you said at the beginning, like we don't often take time to pause and reflect and think about what we've done. You know, like what I do, it's interesting. What I do every year around my birthday, you know, I go back and listen to all of my music, you know, in order, in chronological order, everything that I've done up to that date. You know what I'm saying? So I always kind of look back at my music career in that way, but I never really take the time to look at the year that just passed to see what I've actually, accomplished. And, it's good to do this. I meet with Ill Poetic and my cousin, and, we do that. We meet every week, and usually at the end of the year, we have our goals for the year. And, we go through and say what we accomplished. But, I never really get to bask in, what I'm saying? What I did, what I mean? So this feels good, and I'm sure it feels good to everybody.
Hell yeah. That's dope. So yeah, we got 2 more left. 2 more goals, and then we out of here. Okay. Oh, you're next. What's your number 3, brother?
Oh, yeah. So as many of you know, I do a beat night here in Columbus, Ohio called Vibe Society. And we did a complete year. You know what I'm saying? Like I look back at all the flyers, and actually the first one we did was November of last year in Cincinnati. Vibe Society is a night that was started by Zero Star at Adela's when he had his spot, and he allowed me, him and Paz allowed me to take the name and, carry on the tradition. So we did our first one in November, actually, of 23 in Cincinnati. But then from there, in February is when we officially started, doing it here at Rehab Tavern. And we've been doing it for a year, you know what I'm saying? And, it's one of the most, the biggest nights at that spot for the month. And they're looking to, let us expand a little bit next year. So, we will keep it going. I think it's probably one of the only monthlies here in Columbus that, consistently,
yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Especially hip hop oriented. So, it's really dope to be a part of that. One of the things that I wanted to do this year was get more involved in my production game. And ironically, I didn't know that meant having a beat night instead of making my own beats. So, I did it in a different way, but, it's a real accomplishment, for us to continue to do it. Shout out to, Grant Gatsby. Shout out to Keto, Mayhem, shout out to Product. Shout out to Tim Twice, the originals, from Vibe Society at Adela's, and we carried it on. And, we're going to keep pushing. Next year is going to be a bigger year. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So keep it on, keep it locked. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be out here, with them beats and such. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all last 3 was like, you went out strong.
Yeah, we went out super strong, super strong. With Liquid Crystal, Blueprints release party, having Unjust there, in December. Yeah, it was a nice little ending to the year. So
hell yeah. So if you in Columbus, or if you in Ohio, and especially if you're a producer in Columbus, you listen to podcasts, I implore you to go check out Vibe Society. Usually the first Friday of the month.
Second
Friday of the month, I'm sorry, at Rehab Tavern. It's just people playing beats, good vibes, beats. It's not a rap night. Ain't no really, every now and again somebody will rap, but mostly it's for producers. That is the main element and what it's about. So if you are a producer, if you want to learn about production and be around other producers, which is very important for your development, if you've been curious about it, go. Hell, if you rhyme and you write, go and listen. You'll be inspired to write by what you hear.
Yeah. Hook up with other producers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you coming through on tour, you know what I'm saying? Producers and stuff.
Hit my man up. Hit him up. They done picked up national tours before, Yep. I think last time I was at Fresh Kills. I was at his tour. He played it at Vibe Society. So yeah.
Fresh Kills. Marcel P. Black came through.
Yeah.
Tiamo Dinko came through.
Yeah. Shout out to Dinku.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, no, that's dope. I've played it, and it was an epic night, So yeah, congratulations, my brother. It's good to see.
Yeah, man. It's a good one.
Oh yeah. So my number 3. So we both go. This is the last section. So we gonna do our number 3 and our number 4 things. My number 3 thing, big win of 2024, was touring Asia.
Yeah.
Y'all knew this one was coming. Y'all knew I was not getting off this episode without talking about this one. This was just a dream, man. It was like at the top of the year, I remember telling cats like, yo, there's a chance that we might pull this off. If I go back to doing this full time, I want to try to do that in the fall. And for that to happen, it's like certain things had to move out the way and certain things had to be confirmed by certain dates, and you had it. So it was like everything fell into place for it to happen. And everything was right with me for it to happen. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I got this date, I can't do it. I got this, I can't. Nah, everything opened up. Shout out to DJ Criminal. Shout out to Paulie Rhyme, for helping spearhead it and putting us in contact with, their areas and the heads out there and the people who wanted to see the show. And it was dope. Played 7 shows, played 1 beat set at the very end in Chiang Mai. That was really dope. And it's something that I want to do moving forward, but it's crazy to go across the globe, literally. You're 12, 14 hours away and have people come check for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's something like you really don't understand till you get there. And you're like, yo, you see somebody show up in a Rhyme Sayer shirt, or show up in a Super Duty Tough Work hoodie or some shit like that. You're like, damn. This shit is real, or
especially they're there to see you.
Yeah.
Like you not opening for nobody. You not, you know what I'm saying? Like they came to see you. Like that's the big thing.
Yeah. And like you think about the language barrier and you're in a place with perhaps the largest language barrier, and people still get it and check and support. And it's just beautiful, man. It was like one of the biggest achievements, I ain't no sponsors. I ain't got no big, entities putting money. This is something I funded myself, and was funded through whatever we got paid every night. And we still made it happen. And it was still like, I didn't break even, but I was not far from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with some fine tuning, I do it again. I think I can actually make money doing it next time. And that's just the merch side. I get the merch thing together. I'm coming home in the black next time. But even then, on top of the tour in Asia, being able to take 2 weeks off and chill in Asia.
Yeah, just kick it. Yeah.
I used to dream about shit like this. Like, man, why we got to rush through these cities?
Mm-hmm.
Why we got to go through and play and then we go right back home and then we don't get to really experience them? And so this time I was like, man, if I can help it, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. And I was very tempted to just not buy that ticket. I was tempted to come right back. And I was like, no, Al. It'll figure itself out. You don't got to know exactly where you're going to go. Just don't book your return flight for 2 weeks after your show. And then you'll figure out the rest. Yeah. Everything came together. Spent the week in Japan with Paulie and his family. Shout out to them. Did some music with him. Then bounced back to Chiang Mai. Listened to some records. Did some music there. Worked on the Super Duty website. Played a beat set. Got to walk around. Just my mental health is just, it's beautiful right now, man. I feel amazing,
Nice.
And it was needed. I hadn't taken a vacation in a long time. And so I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. And it's one of the biggest things I achieved this year. And so, that's my number 3. What's your number 4?
Number 4 was getting some video work done for some other people. The beginning of this year, I shot the Total Chaos video for J. Rawls and Kaz Meta.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really like one of my first videos shooting for somebody else.
Yeah.
I've done my own videos, the last few years, dabbling in that. And, but that was the first real video that I got hired to, shoot for somebody else. And then, from that, J. Rawls tapped me to, work on videos for his campaign for his Bump the Floor record.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to shoot those and get those out, and they were all well received. And I have 2 other videos, or 1 other video that I did this year. I haven't finished editing it yet, but for Ill Poetic, I got a video that I did for him that I'm working on now. So, being able to branch out with the camera, what I'm saying, was a big, was one of my goals as well this year. And I was able to accomplish that and, get some things out to, Fat Beats. One of my videos is on Fat Beats YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
real shit. You know what I mean?
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
And being involved in the art and not having to rap. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to do art without picking up a microphone is it's one of those things where, sometimes as artists, especially as rappers, it's hard for us to, if we not rapping, to feel like we're involved in the culture, to feel like we're involved in, you know what I'm saying, that the world that we love, and being able to do it from a different angle. You know what I'm saying? Being able to just be behind the scenes, behind the camera, make somebody else look good. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is fire. You know what I mean? That's some powerful shit, you know? And it also continues to give you confidence in your own stuff, because if I can make them look good, imagine what I can keep doing for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
So, yeah, so it's exciting to, looking forward with some things.
Love it. I love it. Hell yeah. Okay, my last one. It's the last one of the night. And this is not the biggest one for me, but it's one that it was a goal I set, and I'm glad I achieved it. And that was to release 2 projects in 2024. For me, I hadn't released 2 projects in 1 year since 2005.
Yeah.
It had been at least maybe 20 years since I did it. It's been a long time. Yeah, a long time. What's crazy though, we used to do it all the time.
All the time.
Because like 2004 was Chamber Music and Celestial. 2003 was 8 Million Stories and The Weight Room.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And 02 was Unlimited and
Got
Lyrics, right? So it's like we was back to back in all them years. And shit, it was 3. 05 was 88, Greenhouse vs. Radiohead. There's something else I feel like I'm forgetting about, but it was like we had no problem back then. Somewhere along the lines, man, brothers just start getting on this one album every year or 2 cycle, and that shit just it makes music back up a little bit. It makes you think a little bit too much. So this year I didn't want to think, and I was like, just set the goal to do it. Get the first EP out, get your second record done, and you got the Chamber Music record done. Get everything together so you can drop it when the opportunity presents. And the opportunity presented itself, and naturally you be thinking, oh man, I ain't gonna have enough time to put all the pieces together for the campaign. And obviously there's things I wish I would have done better for the campaign, but at the same time it's like, dude, I had a lot of content I created, and I'm proud of the fact that I got both those projects out, man. And moving forward, that's what I want to do. I ain't nothing wrong with releasing one project, but for me, an amount of music I create, I have to push myself to release more now.
Yeah.
And so
I need to do the same.
This is because, the backing up of music is just not good. So I've been suffering from that since COVID. So now it's like all that shit is done. Now it's like, okay, let's get this music the fuck out of here and start getting it to the people and stop bullshit. So that's my last one, man. 2024. When you look at it this way, on these wins, be like, yeah, that's a good year right there. Did my thing.
Did my thing
a little bit, man. And if you sitting at home, I want to thank y'all for rocking with us 24. We didn't do as many. I think we only did maybe 25 episodes this year.
Really, that many? I thought it was less than that.
It might be less than that. It might be. It's between 20 and 25, I think. But it's like we really didn't step on the gas this year with the podcast. It was so much going on, though.
Yeah,
I did 2 tours. You know what I mean? I did the Falling Down tour. I did the Chamber Music tour, Asia tour. Just that, and just like scheduling and in and out of town, and so many things we're trying to do, and we kind of fell out of the habit of doing it every week. But 2025, y'all, coming back. More regular on the podcast. We ain't gonna get into no resolutions and all of that shit. But as far as the show goes, be prepared to see us much more regularly next year. We're gonna get back to more interviews next year. These are things that I am already kind of working on moving forward with. And I think I talked about them in the last episode that the video is going to be scaled back a little bit. I think those of you who saw the last video episode, y'all saw it wasn't that much different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it was a lot less work for me. So I hope that y'all can respect that. And it still looks and sounds good, but it's just not, all the bells and whistles ain't there no more.
Yeah.
And that will allow us to create more episodes like this every week and it not be a big issue. And so we thank y'all. Next year, Super Duty Tough Work website is coming. You know what I mean? Next year, we're going to have, products and services. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be courses and all of that cool stuff. So like, we're going to expand this thing. And just continue to give the people who listen to this more of what we do, different ways, more books, more products and services and things of that nature. So, I thank you, and I look forward to being of service to our community in 2025. So,
yes, sir.
Happy New Year to all of y'all.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all next year.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, Super Duty Tough Work.